the most important human right, it's not the right to equality. It's not freedom from slavery. It's not the right to education. It's not the right to free speech. No, the most important human right is the right to choose death. That is the most important human right. If you got invited into a place and you got there, the most important right that you have in that place is not the right to be had. It's not the right to be treated nicely. It's not the right to equality. The most important right that you have is the right to live. If you feel like you're not enjoying yourself in that place, you must have the right to say, I'm not happy in this place, or I'm tired, or I feel like it's best for me to live. That is the most important right that you have. The most important human right is the right to choose death for whatever reason. I know what some of you are thinking. If you're a Christian, you think, oh, it's up to God. Let me tell you this. Um, if you believe in the Christian God, what you must understand about the Christian God is that He gave people free will. There are lots of things that the Christian God does not want people to do. He does not want people to have sex before marriage. But we allow that because it's not harming anyone. It doesn't mean that if you had the power as the if you had the power as a Christian to make sex before marriage illegal, you should make sex before marriage illegal. No. You allow people to have what? Free will. Because your God gave people free will. So allow people to sin. Allow people to make mistakes. You understand? It doesn't mean that you must start abusing people because now you'll be doing things that are against what your God is saying. Does He want you to go around abusing people? Forcing them to live the way that you want to see them live? Does that make sense to you? Some people believe we chose to be here. Yes, if people chose to be here, it doesn't mean that they should not have a right to choose to live. There have been many places that we have chosen to go to, but we also did choose to leave those places. Any place where you are not allowed to live is a prison. That's something that you must understand. In every place, no matter how good it is, you must have the right to live. The reason why a lot of people are unhappy in this world is because they don't have the right to exit. That is it. If you were in a place, where you were really enjoying yourself, and someone came to you and said, you're not allowed to leave this place. You know that, right? How do you think you would feel? How do you think you would feel if they said, you're not allowed to leave this place until they say you can leave? How would you feel? You feel like you're in a prison. You'd start to feel bored. You start to think about where you're coming from. You're going to start to miss the place that you'll be coming from because you're a prisoner now. Humans want freedom. They don't want to be prisoners. They want to have a right to choose to live if they want to live. I know a lot of people are not talking about this, but the reason why a lot of people are not talking about this is because people are scared. That's another thing that I've realized about people. There are a lot of things that people are not saying because they're scared, or they don't trust themselves enough. They think that there's something wrong with them for thinking that the way that they do. I'm not afraid to talk about anything. That's why I'm saying this. I grew up like that. I grew up speaking the truth. I grew up being misunderstood by people because I spoke the truth. But I know that if somehow this video blew up, a lot of people will say, I agree with you. I agree with you. We must legalize euthanasia in every country. We must legalize assisted suicide in every country. I understand that we have the problem of the slippery slope argument. If assisted suicide was legal, you know, some people would try to, be assisted even if they do not qualify. But here's the thing: everyone should qualify. If a person is able to make a decision that I don't want to be part of this anymore, then yeah, they should qualify. One thing that you must realize is that as humans, we are programmed to want this. Every human is programmed to want this. So if something happens to you that makes you not want this anymore, it means you really do not want it. If you say you don't want it anymore, because you've been programmed to want this 100%. Nature is programmed us that way. So if you reach a point where you say it's not best for me to continue to be here, then we must allow you as a society. We mustn't force you to commit the unthinkable, because that's what we're doing to people. If we say, assisted suicide should be illegal, we're forcing people to commit the unthinkable, and that's not helping anyone. It's not making our society better. We must allow people to be people. People want to have the ability to choose what they want. They don't want to be treated like prisoners. They want to have a choice. They know exactly what they want. They know exactly what makes sense to them. There isn't anyone who doesn't know what they want. Even if that person is stupid, they know what they want. If I'm smart, it doesn't mean that I must be making decisions for other people who I don't think that's are smart. No, I must allow them to choose what they want. Who said being smart is the best thing in this planet? It's what's making people happy. No, it isn't. I want what I want, but I must allow those people that don't want the same things that I want to want what they want. I must allow children to like playing with toys. I mustn't be like, as an adult, I'm smarter than children, so I mustn't allow them to play with toys because that's stupid. No, I must allow them to play with toys because that's what makes them that's what's making them happy. That's something that's very, very important to understand. Some people say there are a lot of people who have attempted to take their own lives before, but they no longer feel that way anymore. They regret trying to take their own lives. Yeah, but really, we must allow people to make mistakes. You cannot take away people's rights because some of them regret having those rights. Some of them will regret having that right. Because, yeah, if, for an example, we granted people the right uh, to choose death, and then we try to assist them, and then something happens and they do not die, and then they end up saying, yo, yeah, I don't want to die and whatever. It doesn't mean that we must say it should be legal for people to have that right, because this person change their mind. It doesn't mean that every person will change their mind. We must allow people to make mistakes. People are making mistakes all the time. People are choosing to get married even if it's not what's best for them. People are choosing to leave their partners even if it's not something that's best for them. But we're allowing them to make those choices because those are their rights. It's your right to say you don't want to be in a relationship anymore. You mustn't be forced to be in a relationship with anyone if you don't want to be in a relationship with that person. You mustn't be forced to continue a relationship with anyone if you don't want to continue to be in that relationship with that person. That's something that's very important to understand. If we force you to continue to be in that relationship, we are abusing you somehow because we're forcing you to experience something that you do not want to experience. You see? People are unhappy because they're being forced to do something that they might not necessarily want to do. Another thing that we must realize is that knowing that you can choose to die at any point can actually make you feel better. It can actually make you feel like I I don't care about the things that are happening. I'm gonna fight because you feel free. I gave you the example earlier. I gave you this example earlier. I said if you were in a party where you were really really enjoying yourself and someone came and said you're not allowed to leave this place, you wouldn't feel good anymore. You'll stop feeling good. That's because you want to be free. Imagine if you were really not enjoying yourself and someone said, you're not allowed to leave. You would feel worse. So the reason why people are not happy is because they don't have that option. People want to be free to make their own choices because they know exactly what they want, know exactly what is best for them. That's something that's very, very important to understand. There mustn't be people who are standing in the way of that because they are in power, because they are really enjoying themselves because they have power. Humans love power. So if you are in power, you'll enjoy yourself more than you know ordinary citizens are. So you're gonna feel like, yeah, this is wonderful, this is beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful because you have a lot of power. But there are people who are not happy because you are making decisions for them. They are not in a position to make decisions for themselves. So we must allow people to make their own choices. If it turns out to be a mistake, it doesn't mean that that was wrong. It doesn't mean that it would have been wrong to allow them to make that choice. No, we must allow people to make their own mistakes. We mustn't be making mistakes for people because it's possible that we might force people to continue to be here and then they end up dying horribly. You see? It is very, very possible that things might go downhill for someone who is fighting for their right to die right now. They might go downhill from this point forward. And they might experience hell on earth. Because we're like, oh, you must not have the right. We must really see things as they are. We mustn't use our emotions and allow them to control us. It doesn't make sense, man. We must use our brains here. Thank you.